Sorry.
Bun me.
Yeah. Real. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, we got 2 seconds. Okay, I'll call our board meeting to order. Tonight is the regularly scheduled board meeting of the Lamar County School District for Monday, March 4th, 2024. And I'll quickly go over the meeting procedures. They basically say that if you have not previously made your business known before the board and have been given permission to speak tonight, then you will not be allowed to do so. And so Dr. Hampton wants to start with a recognition.
I do want to recognize, we're going to prayer and flag.
No.
I just want to recognize Terry Bass, our board supervisor here tonight, joining us. Appreciate him being here. I'd just like to say publicly and thank all the board supervisors and what they do for our school district and county. They do a phenomenal job and just have a wonderful partnership with the board of supervisors. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
And so now we have asked Mr. Carlisle to pray.
Pray with me. Father God, we're so grateful for how good you are to us. God, we thank you for your love and your grace. God, I pray that you bestow wisdom upon this board as we do the business of the county, Lord, and we make the best decisions with you in mind and with the students of this county, Lord, and that you would just bless this county as we move forward. God, thank you for all you give us and for your son, Jesus. Amen.
And now if you'll stand with us for the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and now we will approve the general agenda. So I'll need a motion.
So move.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and that passes. And now we will do recognitions.
That's great.
Good evening. We have several recognitions tonight from Purvis Middle School. I am going to ask Purvis Middle School's principal, Ms. Brandy Tulin, to join us as we recognize her students. Okay. Okay. All right. So first, I want to recognize Paisley McClatchy. Paisley School had a perfect score on the math and ELA in this course assessment and on MAPE. That's our state test from last year. And we want to recognize Paisley.
Paisley is with the show choir.
Okay.
They were running behind on hair tonight.
We got 4 different events happening.
Oh,
My kids are all spread out
That's
tonight.
good.
Our next, Saley Abel. She placed first in business ethics at the FBLA district competition.
Here, we gotta get a picture. Mom, Dad, get a picture too.
I know.
Yeah.
Close, right here.
Okay, get one for social media. Awesome. Congratulations.
Coach, you get your mama's smarts, right?
All right, also first place in business ethics at the FBLA district competition is Kaylee Duckworth. Also first place in exploring technology at the FBLA district competition is Caden Grissett. Placing third in career exploration at the FBLA district competition is Taylor Manning.
Congratulations.
Next, third place in poetry at the Junior Beta Convention, Adele Steele.
Show choir.
All right, fifth place in campaign skit at the Junior Beta Convention is Kagel Dickerson.
Yeah, know which camera to look at.
Also, fifth place in the campaign skit at the Junior Beta Convention is Laurel Hedrick.
That's Taylor Greasy.
Jason?
Go ahead. Come on in, Caden.
Come on, baby, we already called your name.
We'll find your certificate here. There you go. All right. Congratulations. Catch your breath. We'll see you right here.
Come on, baby.
Awesome. Congratulations.
All right, Kaylee Duckworth. We missed her, but she first place business ethics at the FBLA district competition.
Congratulations.
All right, this student was named the best performer at the PRCC show choir competition. That's Libby Spears.
I love that it worked out that she has her outfit on.
It's amazing when you dress up to.
Also,
You gotta go perform.
Also, best performer at the Northeast Jones Show Choir competition is Paisley McClatchy. All right, best performer at the West Jones Show Choir competition is Edie Kadecki. Show choir.
We'll give you these and you can hand these to the students.
Thank you. Thank you.
That concludes our recognitions for this evening.
We didn't miss anybody, did we?
Did we-
Everybody came
everybody
in the
came,
battle.
we got- Good, good.
So we missed them. Okay, so we will move on. If you are here for recognitions, you are welcome
To stay.
to stay with us if you would like, or this will be a nice time for you to exit. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we will do an approval of the February 12th, 2024 minutes.
So moved.
In a second,
Second.
all in favor? And that passes. Approval of the February 29th, 2024 special call minutes.
Motions.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. Oh, sorry, thank you. Approval of the monthly financial report for January of 2024.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. Approval to hold a reverse auction for CNC tool room mill for LCCTE.
This is that grant that we talked about. We got grant 70,000, is that correct? $70,000 we got grant, for our metal trade program, phenomenal program. We're excited to be able to have this piece of equipment, but we have to do the reverse auction. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the clarification.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? And that passes. Approval to accept the lowest bid of $2,049,000 from Sons Construction LLC for our district-wide restroom improvements.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. The approval to accept the lowest bid of $1,178,000 from Sons Construction for the Summerall High Courtyard improvements.
I would like to say before we vote on that is, remember, this is part of the money that was allocated by the Mississippi legislature last year. So it was a special project that they allocated 1.4 million. We've already had $100,000 worth of infrastructure done, and this is to do the courtyard system.
Just to clarify, this is coming from the state.
That's
Yes, this is not our money.
It's not state, county, or local funds at all. This is not county funds or local funds. This is state.
Didn't want to get a text.
Yes.
All right, so we'll accept the motion.
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. So next we have charge fixed asset for the lost stolen Chromebook number 043439. Dr. Hampton, would you,
This is a
give us
student.
the facts?
Yeah, this is a student Chromebook. Student left school, did not return the Chromebook. So in order for us to properly get this off our fixed assets, we have to go through the process. But we also, if we're able to either recover the Chromebook or recover the funds, be able to do that, we will.
Any other questions? Okay.
My recommendation is we charge said student for the Chromebook. We do that return.
Then I make a motion that we charge the custodian for the lost Chromebook number 043439.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. Next is the approval to change policy IHEA.
Motion.
We have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next we have our land manager matters. Dr. Hampton, do you,
There's E, I want to make sure that, I'm gonna let, Mr. Harless speak on E, and then we'll go from there.
okay, great.
The rest of them I'm good with, I just have some concerns with it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I forget. Do I say it or do you say it?
You don't say.
I'll say it. Okay. Forgive me, I'm still learning.
No, I can say.
Okay.
The first item is to approve the cancellation of lease number 744, Jason Smith.
So do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that passes.
Next item is to approve the cancellation of lease number 68, George Property.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that one passes.
Next item is to approve assignment of lease number 427 from Ronnie and Terry Phillips to Brock Parker.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That one passes.
Next item is to approve assignment of lease number 554 from Darren Nightingale to Darren Nightingale.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then
The next is to consider the reclassification of an agricultural lease, number 970, for residential.
okay.
So
And
would you like to talk about what some concerns we have, we talked about the other day?
The main thing is, it's a decent size, level, suitable piece of property that, potentially could be utilized by the school district.
Where is it?
Where Oliver lives, it's behind her house.
So between her house and the railroad track?
Right, where the rubber bin used to be, that's it right there.
They're cutting hay on it now.
Yeah, that's about what they do now. They sold it to an individual who bought the house, picked up a small residential lease and then leases agricultural behind.
so now if we do not approve this, it just stays an agricultural lease. So he can maintain it.
Yeah,
just can't
it
break
stays
the
exactly how it is right now. He had some thoughts of subdividing the property and building some residential lots in there that would take away a lot of the road frontage that would be on Talawa to access the property.
It's my understanding that he's only wanting to break out like 3 acres of it, right?
Yeah, now, I was break out 3. It was more, I was 3. It's kind of ways left with it. It's just selling the road frontage on Talawa.
So Dr. Hanson, what is your recommendation?
I recommend we don't approve this one at this time. I'd like to see some more information, but at this time, I think, to change this lease would not be in the best interest of the school district.
Any questions or further comments?
I like it. I'll make a motion that we do not reclassify number 970. Leave it as is.
So we have a motion?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and that passes. Next, we have our superintendent's report. Thank you so much, Mr. Harris.
All right, so bear with me, and I appreciate everybody that stayed. Before we get to, I got a presentation on the board that I'd like to go over, and would like to go over what we talked about last Thursday in our work session, just so we can all kind of be back on the same page. But before we do that, I want to mention that we do have 4 national merit finalists in our school district. That is huge. It's top 1% of all students in the nation. They take the SAT and they score high enough to be in the top 1%. We had 3 kids that were commended, which is another huge honor to just make that final cut. That's one of those things. Since our last board meeting, we've had Summerall High School girls soccer win the 4A state soccer championship. And last Thursday, we left the work session. I jumped in the car and I ran to Jackson and able to see the third and fourth quarter of the girl Lumberton 1A state championship. Came up 2 points short. It was a great ball game. Our girls really fought hard. I'm super proud of not only the level of play they showed, but their class and character, even when things didn't go their way. I was just very impressed with all those girls. But I want to mention this is that just in this one school year, it's just 1st of March. In this one school year, all 4 of our high schools have had teams or groups that competed for a state championship. We've had Purvis High School, and if you remember, Purvis and Summerall played for the South State Championship here in volleyball. And Purvis went to play Newton County and came up short in volleyball this year. Oak Grove High School won the first 7A football state championship. Then we had the Summerall High girls soccer and then Lumberton girls basketball. We also had Oak Grove cheer and dance win the state championship. And we'll not forget Oak Grove High School, Summerall High School, and Purvis High School cheer are all 3 national champions in their respective divisions. Just super proud, and it just speaks to not only the excellence that we want from them in the classroom, but outside the classroom, the high level of competition that they perform at. It's remarkable, but also to have the staff, the coaches, the directors to put the time in to do those extra things, to have put our students in place to compete at such a high level. The last thing I want to mention on this before we get to the presentation is that we have our band programs that will be competing. They're performing in the concert evaluations down on the coast this week, and so I just want to wish them the best of luck. Those kids have worked really, really hard too. And so just wishing the best of luck and wish all the ones ratings for everyone. It would be great to have all Superior and all of our bands that are going there to perform. So anyway, so I'd like to kind of rehash and go over some of the things that we've talked about Thursday in our work session. And so kind of like to go back since Christmas, we've had 4 parent meetings where we have discussed in small detail in these parent meetings about a potential bond issue. We've had 4 community meetings where we've had a community meeting in each one of these areas. I spoke at January the 11th at Summerall Lions Club. I will be willing to speak any other civic organization that would like for me to come. Tomorrow, I'm actually talking to the Area Home Builders Association at the Hasbro Country Club and speaking that. We've had 2 work sessions. And so mainly I just want to put this out there is that, I hope no one gets the feeling that we're trying to like hide anything or put anything. We've given plenty of opportunity for public comment, for input. I will say this, the community meetings and the parent meetings and the work sessions have been phenomenally productive. We've been able to get a lot of information and gather a lot of what the sentiment in our community is. And so from our parents and also just from community members. So the big takeaways from the community meetings and from our parent meetings is that no one is voicing the opposition to the bond issue at all. I mean, it has not been one person that stood up and said, absolutely not, do not want a bond issue. Several people have in even several areas have expressed the interest in making sure we build quality buildings, making sure that we do not just settle and that we get what we need. We build for the future is kind of what I hear. Not what we need right now, but what do we need for the future? So I'd like to remind about the 2005 bond issue. It was a 20-year bond issue with a $43 million price tag. And when the public voted on it, kind of the similar where we are right now with this one, is that it was projected to be 11 mills is what it was going to cost. And by the time we voted on it and voted and passed it, to the time we borrowed the money, it only took 9.35 mills. And so because our millage goes up and interest rates could go down, cost of construction goes down, all those things can play into the factor of, and I'm sure, and I'm fixing to say some things here in a minute, but I'm sure back at that time, the superintendent was doing just like I was. They were projecting higher, and so that it came in lower. And so the final payment, and we will pay this bond off. We won't have 2 bonds out there. That was something I think that has been expressed that we'll have 2 bonds and we'll have this one and we'll do another one. No, before we borrow any money, we cannot have 2 bonds out there. So we will not have this bond and another one. So we'll pay off the current 2005 bond in June of 2025. which is right around the corner. I mean, when you start thinking about logistically what it takes to start with borrowing the money, to issuing the bonds, to everything that's involved, it takes months ahead of time. Things you have to, and I just mentioned this a minute ago, is that you gotta consider construction costs when you're considering what goes into a bond. You got interest rates, and right now interest rates are higher than they've been in a long time. But I mean, just so WDAM the other night, they had an economic summit at Southern Miss, and they were projecting interest rates to continue to fall. Every financial person that I've talked to says the same thing. Even our bonding attorney is saying the same thing. The projections on interest rates are falling. The cost of construction is falling, while the value of our mill is increasing. And so we're in a really good scenario when it comes to where we're sitting to potentially do some great things in our school district. But I do want to, I'm just that type of, I want the worst case scenario, so to speak. I want to be able to say the worst case scenario. And so this is the value of our mill graphed out over time. And as you can see, it's considerably increased over the years. So this is where, when we talk about worst case scenario, these are the options that we presented Thursday night. And we had a lengthy discussion. Anybody would like to go to our website and click on the link, you can see a replay of that work session to have more in detailed discussion that we had. Questions that were asked were phenomenal. So our worst case scenario is if we were to go after a no millage increase. Okay, so we don't raise the mill, we use the same mills that we have with a 2005 bond issue. When the current bond is paid off, we will reallocate the same mills. It'll generate approximately, and I say approximately because we don't know the value of the mill, we don't know the interest rates, we don't know all that stuff. But worst case scenario would be $85 million. With that, we would be able to build Oak Grove Middle School with a 7th and 8th grade, 900 students, the Purvis High School and Summerall High School with 900 students through 9 through 12. So that's option one. Option two that I presented Thursday night was a slight increase of 2.5 mils. And when we pay off the current bond is paid in full, then when you take it, if we were to, and again, this is the highest, I would say that it will not, this is the worst case scenario. But when you look at worst case scenario, if you have a $100,000 house, it'll be $2.08 a month increase. $15,000 vehicle, 94 cents a month increase. And so the total monthly increase for 2.5 mils would be $3.02. And that would generate approximately 117 million. Now, here's the thing in this scenario too that plays out that's not in the other scenario. If construction prices go down, then that would be the maximum that we ask for. It doesn't mean that we have to borrow that. Does that make sense? And so if we vote on 117 million and the prices and the estimates that we have to do this, the estimates that we have to build Oak Grove Middle School 6 through 8, which would be right at 1,400 students, with a new gym, Purvis High School with a new competition gym, Summerall High School with a new gym, new office building at Oak Grove Elementary. And then one thing that we listened to in Lumberton was that they need a PE room down there for their elementary. High school has a gym, but they, hot days, but rainy days, they need a place to be able to go and stretch their legs and get some activity. The estimates that we have for these projects is somewhere around 114 million at this time. And so if we don't need to borrow but 110 or $100 million, then we won't borrow. We're not going to get any more than we have to. But by doing these buildings, and that's something that, we're going to see growth in these areas. We're going to need to build these buildings. By doing this in a bond issue will give us the opportunities to upgrade the facilities that we have here currently that we'll be moving, say here in Purvis, we'll be moving 7th and 8th grade into some of our high school classrooms once the new high school is built. The same in Summerall. And then we'll be using our facilities in Oak Grove Middle School to expand our CTE programs. And I'd like to make a caveat of that. CTE programs, I won't say they don't cost us anything, but we get refunded. Whenever we hire a CTE teacher, if we were going to put in we were talking about HVAC earlier. If we were going to put in a HVAC program the state would approve us to have that teacher unit, and we would get 99% reimbursement for that teacher. And so it's pretty much a free teacher unit. Would that be correct, Ms. Hessian? I want to make sure I don't. And but we would love to be able to expand our career and technical offerings and have the space. We have to have the space to be able to do that.
And we'll be able to use existing funds for those things.
We would be able to use existing funds to upgrade those facilities to be able to house units. Now, we're not, and that's another thing I want to make sure we're clear on, is that we're not going to shut down our CTE center here in Purvis. It is a phenomenal place for our kids to go, with automotives, with construction, with metal fab, with health sciences, engineering, our drone program, teacher academy. It's just, and I'm not saying that just because Ms. Kelly's here, but I'm just telling you, it's a phenomenal place. They do phenomenal things over there, and we just want to enhance those programs and add to more offerings for our students to be able to have those opportunities. So, that's the things you got to understand. So when we talk about doing a bond resolution, it is what we request is a dollar amount, and it will be the maximum that we can borrow. We won't be able to go over. So that 117 would be the maximum that we're asking for at this time. At the interest rates that we're looking at right now, we're not trying to project out. If you were to do it right now, it would be an additional $2.5 million. Everything points to that being lower than what we see now. But I don't want to sit up here and say it's going to be lower. I want to make sure that we have the best information that we can say to our public. And so the things that the maximum amount and the things we would have to list in there, we'd have to be specific on which projects we would complete in that resolution. So what I'd like to do is the next step that we would like to do is I want to recommend a special school board meeting so that we have an opportunity just to talk about this bond resolution and vote on the bond resolution to move forward in this process. Any questions, comments, concerns? I know we had, all the questions were Thursday night, and I appreciate those questions. Again, would highly recommend anyone who's listening out there now to go to the link and watch that work session. It was a phenomenal work session and great questions. So would you want to recommend?
Should we do that this time?
Yes. Can we make a motion to set a special call board meeting? Okay.
All right, then I would recommend that we have a special meeting Tuesday, March the 12th at 6 p.m. at the district's office. Does the board have a problem with that?
March the 12th at 6 p.m.
In the district office, yes, so that we can make an official vote on the bond issue at that time.
You need a motion on that? I'll make the motion. Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to say publicly too, if anyone would like to speak at that special call meeting, they could contact our office. We have a forum. Be glad to get them in front of us. So have their time to be able to say what their concerns or support or concerns are for this. And so anyway, thank you. That concludes my longest superintendent report we've had. So
And we're still doing okay.
yes, that's the thing. You're right. Exactly. 100%. We're talking about the future. And like I've said in our work sessions, this is generational decisions that we're making that will outlive all of us sitting up here now. So it's very important that we take the time. That's why we took so many meetings and so many people to be able to give them opportunity to have say so in this decision.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. Okay, so we'll move on. So we need to set our next regular board meeting. The recommendation is Monday, April the 8th, 2024 at Baxterville, beginning at 6 p.m. Any concerns? No, you can't be there, or you have no concerns?
I can't be there.
You cannot be there.
So I'm on call that night. Would it be possible for us to do Tuesday 4/9? Would that mess anybody up?
I can do that.
Good.
Anybody else?
Good.
Okay. Stephen, thank you.
So hey, look, I work for you guys. You just tell me where to be when
So I
I need to
make
be
a
there.
motion that we set the next regular scheduled meeting for Tuesday, April 9th at Baxterville School.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, mark it down. Okay, next we have our consent agenda. Do you have any questions, Mr. LePan?
No question.
Mr. Stance?
No questions.
Ms. Carlisle,
No, ma'am.
and Ms. Lawler. No questions. No questions. Okay, well, we will accept a motion at this time.
Motion.
Second. And second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. Let's see what paper we put on this.
All the way to consider executive session 9, page 9.
Page 9. Okay, so we have no other that I'm aware of. So now we will consider executive session on the matter of, we have one personnel matter.
Motion to consider executive session.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and so then we
I'll make a
will,
motion that we enter executive session.
I'll second that.
okay, so we are now, oh, all in favor? We are in executive session. Thank you for being here.
I love
I'm glad y'all had fun with that.
it.
One thing I like